I don't think it was fully live. Let's see here.
It's still saying it's live on mine.
Well, it's showing it's setting up a meeting now. Redirecting to Facebook live feed. Well, see, now it's live. Oh, dude, we just talked that whole time and we wasn't even live. But we are now. Hey, everybody.
Did you record it but didn't put it live?
I didn't record it. I just went with it. But we lost all that. But it's all right. That was about what? It was about 25 minutes. Uncut, raw.
25 minutes of prime time.
Prime time action, maybe. Let's see if we can redo some of that stuff. First of all, man, we was talking about
David Overdeek.
we were talking about David Overdeek and I was talking about My Little Pony.
Oh, you mean before? Talking about the pony poo?
We talked about some unicorns, rainbows.
Yeah.
And then you was like unicorn poop, and then I was like,
Yep.
unicorn poop. And then we talked about, we was talking about church.
You brought up the poop though. Who was that brought up something about different colored turds or something? And I said, well, you go.
It sounds like me. We looked up this guy here. We talked about church, and when you and me, we used to go down to, we was in St. Joe, and you started talking about the music and youth group. Was at Word of Life Church, Ground Zero, and Millennium Youth Church. So that was during the summer of 01, just before 9/11. And then that winter. Yeah, it was that summer, and then that winter, and then the summer of 02. Because I had gotten my GED, and so I was working.
Yeah, and I just got out. I just got done doing a false term for prison.
You did a false term for prison when 9/11 hit?
No, it was right after that. Remember, it was 02, or no, yeah, it was 02, August of 02, when I caught that case. So it had to have been 02, 03 back then. 17 years ago.
Where was you at during 9/11?
Pissed off at these fucking policemen not letting me go and fight for my country. They're detaining me like I was the animal doing it.
You wanted to sign up and go fight?
Dude, it's been my lifelong dream, brother. What do you think I was in ROTC for?
Both of us.
I wasn't running from the damn jocks.
JROTC.
Yeah, whatever, same difference.
But you look back at that now, though, I'm pretty sure you probably don't have the same perspective, do you?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's something out there that exists. You just don't want to judge it by its colors or looks.
Man, we started talking about magic mushrooms after the rainbow unicorn poop.
And then Indian.
And then
being Indian.
And then I asked you if you'd ever tried magic mushrooms, and I said that I didn't. I hadn't, and you said you have. And
it's in my culture.
And you're like, it's in my blood, because I'm a native Indian. And I said, what tribe were you? And you said the Sioux. And then I mentioned Cherokee. And then we brought up that song, Cherokee people.
Yeah.
Cherokee tribe. So proud to live. So proud to die. That sounds like you right there, man. That you're a Sioux.
I got that in my blood too. Gift of gab. I'm Irish, Dutch, German, Sioux Indian, and I got some white in there somewhere, obviously.
You got some white somewhere around in there.
Yeah, some redheads. Well, the redhead,
Guilty as
plus the
charged.
Germans, huh?
It's all
And the
your fault,
Irish.
man.
Huh?
It's all your fault, man.
What's that?
I said it's all your fault.
Hey, that's what God gave me. I'm gonna rock it until I sink.
Yeah, so we was both born in St. Joseph, and that's in Missouri, where the
Yep.
Pony Express mail route ran to Sacramento, and that city would have been bigger than Kansas City if from what I understand, if the townspeople would have made a deal with can't remember the name of the guy, but he ended up putting Union Station down in Kansas City, and then that's why Kansas City became a metropolitan area. And in the St. Joe, they had 90,000 people. Kansas City had like 3,000 people at the time. St. Joe was the place to go when you wanted to cross the trails west or Independence. But a lot of people crossed from St. Joe, and so like we got in our bloodline a big mix of explorers, adventurers, and riffraff, Indians, rebels, freedom fighters. You know,
Gotta leave the Indians alone, though, man. They was here first.
we all came from Africa, though, right?
I don't know about all that. Not my Indian people. Dude, you ain't gonna find no bones down there of no Sioux Indian.
You didn't hear you didn't hear they done studies on that, like with DNA and stuff, but they traced it back where the first man came from Africa or somewhere about there.
I've heard that about few different spots though. Like they're not just the one. They're not just one singular spot.
Oh, I heard about that too. Like we were seeded, like there was multiple different seeded at the same time in various places. So to
Yeah,
speak.
it actually seems like to me with the result of things, it seems like there's like all these mixes of races
Mm-hmm.
were singular at some point, and it does
Mm-hmm.
seem like they all came from these other countries or other worlds, and they all needed another place to go because the sun was harboring all these worlds where these people were, and they all come together as as a people to come to this world. And
You
now
start
the reason
listening.
why I bring this up.
I'm going to stop you for a second because you're starting to sound like that guy on the History Channel.
No,
He's
listen,
got
the
his
reason I
hair
bring
like
this up
this.
is because the languages are found connected everywhere.
It's got to be the aliens, man. I'm telling you, it's the aliens.
The Indians write it on
He's
down.
got that hair like this, dude. That's your new nickname. I'm gonna call you Alien Expert. History Channel. That's Leonard, Sioux Indian Alien Expert. It was this big. Hey, let's get. I want to talk about the.
I can barely hear you. Hold on, let me try to find out why I can't hear you that good. Earlier I could, but
Can you hear me now?
hold on. It's not you. I settings. I hit and I went right back out, and it won't like it amplified it.
Might be the internet. Let's see here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I wonder if we're still live.
Yeah, it says on here anyway.
Yeah, it shows here we got 5 people watching. And
Really?
We got 12 minutes in. Now we're down to 3. I guess people got conscious of the fact we was looking at them. Let's go back to talking. So, you're in the hospital, dude, because 2 days ago, you couldn't make it anymore on your own. Couldn't breathe or whatever.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been this sick for so long, so many consecutive days, and I was thinking it was going to get over each time, and it's different. It's a different one, man. I was kind of curious whether or not I might have run into that Corvid or what COVID or whatever, and that was the main reason because I've been hearing everybody dying. But to tell you the truth, I've only heard of more worse than I've actually known about it.
You and me talked about on the podcast episode number 6 on the Solomon's Treasure podcast. And right now we're talking again live. We've had a couple conversations today, yesterday. You called me yesterday on the phone for the first time since I tried to get you on as the first guest speaker in the podcast on episode 1. And that was on the 13th. And you said yesterday that you were sick since the 13th. And so, like, the day when we weren't able to get you on, you started feeling sicknesses, pains, body aches, and you got to the point 2 days ago where you just couldn't breathe. You said you had like cold sweats, stuff too at night.
Yeah, I mean, it all
And then
kind of seems normal, but it's not going away like it should be. I've been loaded on medicines consistently. You know what I mean?
you've
I
you
don't
never
know.
been this sick this long,
Not since I was maybe a baby. You know what I mean?
right? Not that you can
Usually, I don't
remember.
need medicine this long. I don't take medicines. I'm pretty healthy. I naturally fight stuff off usually.
Hmm.
I think it's a mixture of working at these dirty places, being depressed, my normal aches and pains, and then all, uh plus my nephews being dirty around my grandparents' house, and them not being or my mom and them's house. You know what I mean? Their grandparents, but they're
Right.
making little crevices dirty and nasty. And I grew up, knowing that the floor is gonna be clean, dude. And so I just kind of lived like I would. But dude, I get down there close to that floor, dude. I can't figure out what's in the floor sometimes. It looks
Hold on.
bad.
Let me stop you for a second. First of all, they tested you once for COVID. They did a
Yeah,
swab. Did they do a swab test where they stuck something up your nose?
yeah, they did that a couple different times, but these were different
Those
ones than what they're waiting for now.
came back negative, and then they did a different one where they do draw your blood,
There's gonna be a more extensive one, I guess they're talking about too, though. I guess it ain't been a full test.
and then
It's
they
been,
also did chest X-ray,
yeah, they put me in for that.
and they said they got you on oxygen. They had you on oxygen yesterday. You've been on oxygen since you showed up there, I imagine, right?
Today, my numbers are staying higher than they have been usually. My
What's your oxygen level at now? Was that
it's at
84?
97 now. It's at
97.
97 now.
But they
They're
got
trying
you
to get
on
me
that.
off quarantine or whatever you call it.
But they
Like
but
trying to keep my levels right,
but they got
trying to
you
keep
on
me up.
that. They got you on that hose line now. That's different from yesterday.
Yeah, it kind of helps keep the oxygen coming. I got it set right now. It was blowing out of it, dude. I mean, it's driving me nuts. My eyes and everything. I don't know if that was helping much. I mean,
They was they was pumping you up.
oh yeah, they're doing their best, man. I like these people here in Maryville. They're real good people.
So we talked about you started off when we did the first started talking, and the you start talking about Christian music that we would listen to. You tried looking some of that Christian music up from youth group, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
you mentioned that we went down to Kansas City, and I had forgot that I had taken you down there to World Bible Church.
I went down there a bunch of times with you ever since I got, because the government and their mess ups. I ain't gotta go through all that no more. You know what I mean?
But
You already know what I'm talking about with that.
what was it that did you notice a different particular environment as far as like a spiritual pull or a spiritual presence? Did you notice a difference in the atmosphere and the praise and worship? Praise and worship is definitely different at World Revival Church.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
do you remember that stuff?
in prison.
No, at World Revival Church.
Oh yeah. What about it?
Do you remember anything in particular about the praise and worship?
I think it was more level playing ground in Kansas City, like more like everybody was involved in the same way. Instead of you get here at St. Joe, it was always kind of spotty. You got groups, big groups, kind of influences the smaller ones. Don't get me wrong, there was some power control there. Like some not really power control, but some more. There's
What
some
you're
powerful
saying?
influence, I guess.
So what you're saying is in World Revival Church there was a more unified effort towards praise and worship compared to Word of Life Church.
Yeah.
Brian Zahn compared to Steve Gray.
Right.
Steve Gray, he had he runs a they have a different way that they go about creating unity and drawing in presence of God. And I was drawn to the praise and worship, and I love praise and worship. At least I did a lot beforehand, and
I think it was a little more healthy approach because our Word of Life, everybody's trying to cover every base when humanely. I think that's what helped in Kansas City with him was because, like a certain, it would bother me sometimes, like being criticizing, that could be felt in a wrong way.
you
But
mean
it's taken me a long time to
there was a
understand that.
lot of criticism from Steve Gray towards other people.
Yeah.
He's
I
very
mean, he
critical
got
of
kind of harsh,
everybody.
what I mean? But I did notice it was pretty powerful. But that could be the majority shine, though, too, and that doesn't always mean that.
We was talking. Right before we got you on. I ended up pulling up his Facebook page for the first time, and here's this guy. He's
economy or the virus or the situation, your financial situation, or somebody's out to talk bad about you,
this guy's on
or
the.
there's tension in your
He's
relationship
on this live.
with somebody. Hi, Lisa.
Live action
Finally, you
Facebook
just
stuff
have to
2
come to
days
the
ago.
point where there's just so
I
much
put a comment on
evidence
there.
that everything's going to
said,
go wrong that you
I sure
finally
hope
just have
you
to
don't
say,
end
so
up
what?
in jail.
That doesn't make any
That would be a
difference. The
shame.
word of God is true. Power
And
of God is
I'm a
true.
little concerned about him right now because I got wind about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. There was a lot of people that went to that church when I was there that have left since, and there's been a lot of people who feel as though they've been hurt, and and it seems as though there's some rumors spreading that that some of the children that were in that church were being abused, um, sexually, and from what I
They were
understand,
over there to.
there were some people saying that they were abused, and I'm not for sure who, but I was just reading on some pages of a Facebook group, and it seems as though that they might have some trouble because there's some police investigation on them. And a
That
lot of
can be
people
bad
are
for
explaining.
society, I think, period, though.
Yeah,
Somebody needs
well,
to crack down on that and find out what the truth is so it doesn't tear down a church that doesn't deserve to be torn down.
well, I think that's basically what an investigation is good for. But when it comes to a police investigation, those police investigate crimes. And from what I understand, supposedly as a pastor in Missouri, if you know of a child being abused inside your church and you don't report it to the authorities, then that's a crime. And so I think that's where it's like, I hope he doesn't end up in jail, but if he does, he wouldn't be the first pastor to ever go to jail for breaking any laws. And and then of course a lot of them people that are in that group on social media, they are they're people who are explaining their position and where they see that church as a spiritually abusive environment. And I've studied a little bit on spiritual abuse, and it seems as though they take the cake on abusiveness. And but I think they're trying their best and doing what they can, but it's kind of a shame. Word of Life, on the other hand, with Brian Zahn, there was stuff that was probably going on there too that we don't know about with young kids and adult leaders, and it's a problem because it makes the message look bad, I think that sometimes the message needs to look bad if, when it comes to eternal conscious torment. So I think spiritual abuse, all abuse in general, I think a lot of it stems from a root of thinking that, which is that that God is somehow planning on torturing people forever, and that I've done some research into that since then, Leonard, in my spiritual journey since we knew each other, going to church and youth groups. It's a little bit different now. You know, I know it may sound crazy if I tell you this, but from what I understand with my study, there were 6 universities in the early Christian church, and 7 universities or something like that in the early Christian church, and 6 of those 7 all taught that eventually everyone was going to be redeemed. That a hell, an eternal burning hell, wasn't something that was taught by Christ. And so I think that when it comes to disrespecting people and abusing people spiritually, I think it's easy to do. I think it's easy to abuse somebody. I think it's challenging to love your neighbor as yourself. I think it's hard to love your neighbor as yourself if you're not for sure if God loves that neighbor. You know what I'm saying? God wants us to forgive. Jesus wants us to forgive everybody, but yet he's not going to forgive everybody. So I guess
He's God, don't forget.
Yeah, he is God. He is God. But is he a God who's not capable of saving others from him, even himself? Because he's God, he created the hell. Apparently God's not powerful enough to redeem everybody. I know it's a touchy subject, but I think it needs to be talked about in the church because my particular experience, mystical experience, where we could unpack it another time, or we could try now. But basically, I heard God's voice, and I know how that can be. I'll say it again. I heard God's voice, and I know how that can be a big deal for people to say, because in times past people have said that, and but they were just making it up. So I don't say that stuff lightly. I take my integrity in the words that I say very serious. I hold myself to a pretty high standard, I think. But yeah, dude, when he spoke to me, it was in a time where it was a confirmation of sorts. And so, for me, myself, and Irene, we are convinced. I'm convinced. And I've been convinced ever since that day. And that took place on the 21st of October, 2016, at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Inside this very room where I'm sitting, no more than 3 feet from where I'm at. And you know what it sounded like? Let me tell you what it sounded like. Imagine being at a crowd, like a football stadium or a sports event, or like Coliseum or whatever, and you get everybody saying the same thing at the exact same time. But in perfect harmony and in perfect unison. Imagine if you were in Arrowhead Stadium watching a Chiefs game, which from what I understand, Arrowhead Stadium still has the world record. I know they got it to where they got their decibel level up. They lost it once, and then they got it back again as being the loudest, stadium But imagine if you was in that stadium and all the people said the exact same words, the exact same time. That would give you a hint as to what I heard. And it was as if I got the sense that it was as if it was every voice that has passed away, every voice that has been born and passed away. That's kind of the sense that I got at. Like there was still more waiting to be added to that voice. Like that voice wasn't yet complete. That's a feeling that I got. Those are just feelings. But I'm not making a doctrine out of it or nothing. But um, but yeah. But before I heard him speak, I could hear. It was non-audible, and it came from my left side. Non-audible means that nobody else could hear it but me, and so it was something for me,
Yeah.
And but I could hear okay, I could hear lightning. I could hear thunder. Now you can't hear lightning. Lightning is just a light, but thunder. I could hear thunder. And when I heard that thunder, it was crashing. I'm getting goosebumps on me now. But it was just crashing thunder. And it scared me. I was instantly frightened like a mouse. Like a mouse is frightened when it realizes somebody sees it. Or I was frightened like a deer in the headlights. I was frozen stiff. And I've been in a lot of worship services. I've had some very amazing and intense spiritual experiences. So we're talking spiritual experiences, and before we went live, we talked about the fact that I'd like to try magical mushrooms. I'd like to try psilocybin because people describe it as a spiritual experience, and I would like to compare it to my spiritual experiences. Because I mean, there's a guy named Michael Pollan. He wrote a book called How to Change Your Mind, and he's never had any religious experiences. He says before trying psychedelics, and then he was able to realize, yeah, God is love. And we're talking a guy who's an atheist and trying psychedelics and saying, yeah, God is one, God is love, and yeah, everything's connected. And so, spiritual experience, I'm interested in trying it. But let me tell you about this thunder that I heard. It was on my left side, and it was as if a window, like to a different, I guess it like almost as if there was a different frequency or a different universe or a different level plane or a different. It was like something was opened up where I was able to hear, and then I could feel something coming closer to me, and I could feel it getting right up next to me. And then he whispered, but the whisper was as if it was all the voices of everybody that had passed away talking at the exact same time. And I was already scared, like a deer in the headlights. I was scared like a mouse is. Hey, baby, what, you got a car? She got herself a little carrito. Oh, it's a transformer car. Holy cow. It spins and transforms. It looks like a Ferrari Lamborghini or something, and then it transforms and stands up. Holy cow, that thing is awesome. Oh my gosh, it just popped up. And it's a transformer. Elizabeth, Elizabeth. She's playing with it. So, dude, what I heard, you all right? Does that hurt? You got any pain? You got a button you can push to tell them?
They got something scheduled. It'll be all right.
Yeah, but you're not doing it.
They're coming. It's a cough. Cough is always a pressure. I'm trying to get phlegm out of my lungs. They had pneumonia in them, and it's going away. The pneumonia is coming out. It's just really slow. I have to do these breathing treatment things, like practices, like breathing exercises, and it forces out this stuff out of my lungs. Keep coughing it out and clearing it out.
I got you doing exercises.
Yeah, I've been doing them.
You think you're gonna pull through?
Huh?
You think you're gonna pull through?
I know I will.
Nice.
It's just another one of my obstacles.
You got it worse than what I had. I know they ain't tested you positive yet, but I never had any problems breathing.
Yeah, that part will bring life to your face, I tell you. But
Hey, you want to say hi again? Why don't you say hi again to my friend? And Carol, she's just looking for her toy.
who? Carlo?
She's looking for her car. Carro.
Oh, Carlo.
Yeah, carro.
Carlo.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom, carro. ¿Dónde está su carro?
She got one that looks like daddy's yet?
What a
Do
Prius.
both the girls have a Prius yet? A little Hot Wheels Prius?
People give me a lot of slack for that Prius.
Dude, that's daddy law. Every vehicle daddy takes the girls in, or the kids, period, in general, or the family. You have to have a model car from Hot Wheels. You gotta get one. You're behind, brother.
I didn't know till
You
now.
gotta have a stash for when they go to look into your stash. They'll see all the ones you had before they got up to theirs.
Am I going to be able to find a CRX?
Yep, I've seen them, dude. They're neat. It reminded me of
Hot
yours. It made me want to open up the hatch and put some big old speakers in it.
Yeah, dude, CRXs are great for sound systems.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful. You can blow out the glass, But that's with every car. But yeah, so I started off with the Camry, that 92 Toyota Camry LE, and then I blew that motor. I played with it in the parking lot in the snow and ran the motor too hard. Those motors were prone to throw rods, and so I threw a rod and punched a hole in the side of the block. And that was it for that car. And I went like 2 months without a car, and somebody in the church gave me a car, but they gave me a Crown Victoria LTD 1988 or 1987 Crown Vic. And then I got a job delivering pizza. That was during the summer of 2002. About the time you said that you had that problem, so was that 2003? No, that would have been 2003, summer of 03. See, my grandma gave me that Camry when I got my license and got that car licensed and registered on my birthday, April 20th, 2002, when I 18. And then that motor was dead within a year and a half. And I had a Crown Vic, and I only used that until I had my first CRX. And then I've had 4 or 5 CRXs. I had a Honda hatchback. I had an 87 Chevy Silverado 4x4 I pushed snow with in Kansas City before I went to Honduras. And then in Honduras, there was a Nissan that we called Frankenstein. So I got a lot of cars I'd have to get for a collection, follow that rule. And then I've had 2 Priuses, apart from another CRX, since my first 5 years, my first long 5-year.
What's really cool is when you find the ones that have the real rubber tires, and they got little treads, dude.
Yeah.
You can start making them look like yours, like you had 3 different treads. You can find other cars with different treads.
I'm gonna look right here, man, and see if I
God's going to help me. God's going to strengthen me. And hi, Teresa. And
can. This guy,
so what? Yeah, okay. All right.
Steve Gray, man. I hope you don't end up in shame. So, let's see here. It wouldn't be the first, and it probably wouldn't be the last. CRX. Hot Wheels. There we go. $12.50, yo.
That is so cool. Now all we gotta do is find you a little Pizza Hut magnet.
Get the car topper.
Yeah.
I delivered pizza while I was in school.
They got
man.
accessories and stuff like that, dude.
Oh, people steal them too.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, there would always be signs coming up.
that's what the man cave is for, man. You don't take other people in your man cave.
I never stole anything like that. Not after the age of 18, like 17, really. I never stole stuff from my workplace. Hey, one time I was working up there at Fireworks World. It was my first paid job, and it was before 4th of July, and I was paid to be able to help bag up these fireworks into these little baggies. My second day at work, I tried stealing some smoke bombs. I was 15. My sister and her ex-husband, who at the time they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and he's the father of 2 of my nephews. He was the one that worked up there with her, and they were there when I got busted. The guy said, "I want him out of my building right now." I walked right over, and I was standing in front of the stupid window where the guy's looking at me, and I'm trying to stuff these down in my sock, right in front of. And the thing is, those stink bombs only cost like $3.50, and I was getting paid like $5 or $6 an hour. I could have bought them, and so I had to sit outside the hour or 2 of shame until my grandma was able to come pick me up. And she says she wasn't happy with me, but my grandma said, she says, "Now who was responsible for that?" And I said, "I was." She said, "Good. You were the one responsible for that." That was the last time that I can remember that I'd ever stole from an employer. And I didn't make it 2 days. And it was a shameful thing, but yeah, car toppers, there would always be people. There'd just be car toppers would disappear. I worked at, I don't remember how many Pizza Huts, different stores that I worked at. The great thing about delivering pizza, bro, is like I was quick. I was quick, and I was able to work long hours, work really hard, I always kept myself moving. I would close the store, make sure the dishes were all done right, make sure the floor is always done right. I always just did the best damn job that I could. And I had no problems getting transferred to other
Your old
stores.
crew says hi.
What? Who?
Your old crew says hi
Which old
from
crew?
from Pizza Hut. Yeah, where you used to work out there on the on Frederick at the newer takeout place, the only place.
I worked at that one. That was the first place where I delivered pizza from. I was in there when we got robbed. I was there with one of the guys that we knew at the church. There was two people that worked there from the church, and it was crazy because I saw the thieves coming in. They came in with shotguns, dude, and they didn't have no masks on. And one guy came in with a shotgun. There were three people that came into the store, to the driver's door, and I saw them come in, and I immediately ran to the back because at first I thought it was the police, and then I'm like, it's not the police. So I ran to the back and I hid. And I told the two dudes doing the dishes there, I said, hide, we're getting robbed. And I hid back behind the water heater. And the guy, one of the guys with the shotgun came back, put the shotgun on those two drivers, and took their phones, took their wallets, took their money that they had for their bank. And then there was somebody up front that was trying to make the manager open up the safe. Poor manager was scared shitless, and she couldn't open the safe, and they was threatening to kill her. But they put everybody inside the walk-in cooler, and then left. And this whole time I'm hiding behind the freaking water heater, like quiet as a mouse. And then I walk over to the like, there's no noise. I could tell they left. And I came out and looked. I said, there's nobody here. And this was the funny part I'll always remember, Leonard. I opened up that walk-in cooler to see them inside. And they saw me. They was scared at first. And then they saw me and they was immediately, get in here, get in here, get in here. And I looked at them. I said, I ain't coming in there. They gone. I slammed the door on them. I slammed the door. I said, we gotta go get them, man. And I ran outside and tried to see if I could find, you know who was involved in that? Well, I don't want to say it on this video, but one of the people that was inside of our JROTC class. Well, he wasn't involved in it directly. It was indirectly. The thieves were trying to get that guy out of prison because he got put in. They were trying to get him bail money. They needed $10,000 or something like that because that guy was put in jail because he robbed the Days Inn and he shot the guy in the stomach. So there was three thieves trying to steal money to get another thief out of prison. Yeah, crazy story. She got her finger. Too much candy. They're playing. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. That's just gonna have to take a little bit of time. She'll calm down again. But
give me some hints. I think I know who it was. Was it Nathan Gabriel in him?
nope. Don't say any more names. I don't want any people's names to be coming up in this segment.
Fuck, you know he's back in prison again for doing the same shit.
Hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Stupid son of bitches. Fucking thieving niggas.
What are you doing, dude? Are you naked? You're using the restroom, aren't you? Hey, man, you gotta do your duty, dude. You gotta take care of your body. He's got his sound off. I got people here commenting on my new mushroom page. Share that with Leonard. EIO. Alright. Alright. Just 1 second.
It says it's on mute.
Oh, there it is. How's that now? Yeah, can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
I asked you how you're doing. How you feeling?
Pretty much at mercy. I'm just at mercy right now.
Well, you said you're feeling better and you think you're going to pull out of it, so that's good. And you said that you
Yeah.
were surprised that it had lasted this long. Same thing
Yeah.
happened with me, man. It was 2 full weeks of pains like I'd never had before.
Huh.
I had like 3 nights where it was just horrible. I got the kids now. Got one of them watching TV, and the other one's in there playing with her markers. The one that pinched her finger. That little thing pinched her finger pretty good. That Transformer car.
Huh.
Yeah. But right now I got this one here watching the YouTube show called Roma and Diana. Roma is the name of the boy. Diana is the name of the girl. Her brother and sister, and their parents are Ukrainian. And they got this YouTube channel. They got 10 million subscribers. They make these cool videos. They're like, that's all they do now is just put out these cool videos and got these cool toys, and these kids playing with these nice toys in this big old beautiful house. I think they're here in the United States now. I don't think they're filming this stuff from Ukraine. But two pretty kids, very good looking, healthy, and they're creating magic. I started showing my kids this video and some of these other videos, and getting them accustomed to being on video. I think that's good for kids to be able to do. Play with videos. Stuff that we never got to be able to do too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have internet. Like, internet was coming out, you know what I mean? AOL dial-up. You got, man.
You had internet at school.
Yeah, we had internet at school, but not like this, you know. It wasn't
Right.
like it. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still live. It looks like, man. We're doing it. Let's see if we got any people watching. We ain't got nobody watching right now. It's just us.
Nobody.
Nobody cares about watching.
Nobody's watching.
My cousin Jessica.
That's not a good time right now. Anyway, I didn't expect us to have it right now anyway. Until we get going and doing things and getting back on our own page anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna have our day.
Getting back into the groove.
Yeah.
Man, this
Start
guy
making things a little more self-efficient. Money and stuff like that steadily coming in. And no worries. We'll be able to lay back and talk about things because success is growing before us.
I got this guy here. Yeah, success is before us. Because we're going to talk about anything and everything that's good and helps make the world a better place. That's what I'm going to focus on for the rest of my life now that I got like this second chance in life. I feel like I got a second chance in life after finally having an unlimited supply of hemp, which dramatically made a difference. That was about a year ago. I had enough hemp. I fucking finally started feeling good, dude. All the trauma and stress and problems that I've had over life, they just started stacking up, man, and PTSD and. But somebody tagged my name on this because apparently people might know my brand or who I'm known as. I talk about hallucinogenics and healing and sacred powers. And here's this talk about peyote. Somebody tagged my name in. It says plants of the gods. Their sacred healing and hallucinogenic powers. By Richard Evans Schulitz and Albert Hoffman. Hey, Albert Hoffman, I think I can't remember. Like I had also, dude, when I was down in Kansas City, I was in a fight, and I provoked a guy, like he was a bouncer, and I was drinking, and some of the guys that I was drinking with had provoked a fight with him, and the fight got broke up, and I was just being a show off and showboating next to him, dancing, acting like I was taunting the bouncer who my friends just picked a fight with, and he was like a 6'2" or 6'4" Samoan, and he fucking hit me in the head. And I didn't remember that he hit me in the head until it took weeks. It took weeks to remember what happened. I was hit in the head, sucker punched, and then my head hit the floor, and I was unconscious they told me for the better part of 3 minutes. And when I was hit, I remember that the bar was full of people, and when I woke up, it was almost empty. And I came to, and this was in 2000, and I think it was in the end of 2006. I came to, and I could not breathe, and I could not move. My body was not breathing, and I felt like a fish out of water. And I was like that for maybe 30 to another 45 seconds, where I was on the ground. It just came to, and people were slapping me. I had a guy on top of me slapping me, trying to wake me up. And my brain had shut off and turned back on. And it took a while before I regained ability to fucking breathe. And I got up and said I was fine, and said, give me another beer. And went home, and a couple weeks later, I started getting these headaches. I started stuttering in my speech. I would forget what I was saying in the middle of a sentence. My mind would go blank. I had pains all up and down my back and in my legs. I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't walk a straight line sober. I was basically incapacitated. I wasn't capable of pretty much damn near anything. I was living with some of the people who I rented a room with at the church, down at World Revival Church, and I went to the doctor, went to the hospital. I went to the emergency room because I was just in so much fucking pain, and I didn't know why I couldn't talk and what was wrong with me. And they gave me some lower grade pills, and you know how it is. Like, they're not gonna just jump out with somebody who doesn't have any physical appearance of injury and start giving them a bunch of pills. What they gave me did not get rid of what I had, and I went back 2 more times, and it was the 3rd time when I went back, and they diagnosed me with post-concussion syndrome.
Yeah.
And they said that my symptoms could last 6 months, maybe a year.
Them sucker punches are doozies, dude.
And they also told me it could be permanent.
That's why I don't like them people. You know, them police are just so stupid about it too, or judges sometimes. They're like, oh, you walk away, you run away, you do this, you do that. I'm like, dude, it's better to take a punch to the face than it is from behind. It really is. Man, you don't know what's coming from behind, dude. You never know what happens.
When they told me that I had post-concussion syndrome and that my symptoms might last for the rest of my life, I cried.
Nurse is in.
I cried.
Nurse
is there?
You're fine.
Okay. I'll just let him know because he's got this thing live or whatever.
Yeah, and so
I was like, nurse,
hey, what's up?
What's Chris. Up, astronaut? They got you in there, man. I think I'm gonna download this one and put it up on the YouTube channel just for fun. It's nice because it's like we're able to kind of quote unquote come out of the closet and spill our beans, you know.
I have one. My first one yesterday. That's another thing I forgot to do. They've been giving me these weird blood. I think it's blood thinner.
No, it's just a small it's prevention blood thinner to help prevent getting blood clots since you like laid up in bed more. So, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understood it was something. I just heard blood thinner.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's blood thinner.
Okay,
That's
painkiller
just in
needs the
case.
next.
What about vitamins? Do you taking any vitamins?
I eat pretty darn healthy, really.
I mean, like, are you taking
no,
vitamins?
specifically, they haven't been giving me any, but I usually take one a day every day.
What about vitamin D?
Yeah, I make sure I drink my D and my milk.
Well, no, I'm talking about like a supplement, like an actual pill.
Huh? Oh no, I don't take the extra.
Yeah, well, there was a I watched on the Joe Rogan podcast. They had some doctors on there, and they've had quite a few specialists on there, and one person in particular was explaining how just about everyone who's gotten sick and hospitalized with COVID were deficient on vitamin D. Vitamin D deficient. This was a couple months ago. And now the blood thinners I had read about that there was a hospital in New York, I think it was Mount Sinai Hospital, and there was a neuroscience scientist or doctor or something like that in the neurology, and he had said that he was seeing blood clots. So.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you just scared me over what I was ready about it. What are you thinking about it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh. Okay. Kind of weird getting in your belly. Oh, I'm supposed to get in your belly. Be alright. They give me some mucinex and the bed shot thing.
Vitamin D.
Oh yeah, we were talking about vitamin D. Yeah, I mean, I take a men's Wednesday. I've always done that for some years now. Since I was a teenager, believe it or not.
Your IV here.
I take a men's Wednesday. I've always done that for some years now.
I'm watching us
crazy.
live on my phone.
That was crazy. What's this?
Just your antibiotic.
Oh, okay.
Has this been working today?
I've never had any issues, but I know it feels weird, and that's the oldest one now. But they've had to take the other one out because it kind of worked weird and kinked inside my arm.
I'm gonna untape this. Sorry.
What can you do? I just seized up. Something ain't right.
Let's see this way. Sorry. I'm interrupting a conversation.
What?
You're doing your job. No need to apologize. We're thankful. I'm thankful you're there.
All right. Yeah, we're on the same page, so you're good.
Okay.
You do what you gotta do.
Perfect.
Professional. Yo, it's fine, dude. They gotta wear these plastic bags. You know what I mean? Like, uniform one thing, but plastic bag, dude.
She's a real hero.
Going overboard, I just think. I think that's supposed to be inside of an astronaut suit or something.
Okay, don't move for me. I'm
No
gonna try
way,
to salvage
no.
this one. How's that feel? Burning?
I feel pressure.
See, I'm gonna put up.
I'm just trying to see it. So
wanna go live?
Okay, was it burning?
No, I felt cold. And I felt pressure, almost like someone poking on a
Come on, buddy.
Is it hurting now?
Leonard.
I just feel pressure. You know?
Right now.
Well, it's working good.
What was it? Just turned too much or something? Kicked off?
Here, can you just stay right here for me for just 1 second and I'll re-tape him down?
Yep.
Okay. Because I don't want to have to re-poke you if we got a good IV. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it before
Yeah, I've been poked a few times.
Yeah, poke them if you got
Better
them.
than smoking them.
I'm sharing this link. Maybe somebody with Facebook and Zoom would like to join us on a Zoom
Oh,
live.
yeah.
Join our Cloud HD video meeting. I just put it up on a post there. Anyone want to go live on Facebook with my friend Leonard Richardson and I right now through Zoom? But if they click on that Zoom link, it'll show up here. Yeah. Zoom. Yes, I was talking about that head injury, man, and they told me the pains in my back and my leg were from contractions, and the muscle, the nerves were sending contractions. Basically, the way they explained post-concussion syndrome to me was when your brain shuts down like that, and then it boots back up. When the brain shuts down and boots back up, there's stuff that just doesn't turn on all the way. And
Yeah.
but I've come a long way since then. Shoot, that was like 14 years ago. And but still, I can tell that. Well, before I had access to as much hemp as I needed to make as much oil as I wanted, uh, I would still have leg cramps and back pains. And with the hemp oil, that took away those pains. And it helped take away the anxiety. It took an edge off on the anxiety and the stress and the triggers. And I was finally able to get a grasp with mentally and to get a grip mentally, and I was able to start coming down. Um, and it's also cannabis and cannabinoids, CBDs. Cannabinoid is an antipsychotic. So,
Wow.
so that's
Sure you mad at me?
It's empty. I thought there was something in the trash can.
so
I hear you. I'm
that was
listening.
one of the things that helped me out big time, man. Was that having access to my buddy. My buddy, he's growing his, because 2018 they passed that farm bill, and I got a friend of mine in West Virginia who's got a farm. He's got a homestead, and he's got a green thumb. And 2019, that guy was growing himself some hemp on his hemp farm and selling it. And he sent me a care package back in January, and so I had like a whole bunch of hemp flower, and I was smoking it there for a while, and then and then I made my own oil. And man, I'm telling you, man, I eat that oil every day, and it's amazing. And then when I started taking my vitamins again about a month ago, there's like almost 20 capsules. There's almost 20 capsules that I take every day. And then 3 weeks ago, I added in the Stamets 7 mushroom mycelium husk, or mushroom mycelium powder, and lion's mane. Added in some extra lion's mane. And so I'm feeling like I feel better than I ever have. Well, maybe I felt better before, but I can't remember when. I mean, even through my high school years and my Bible college years and my Honduran years, I've never had this type of mental clarity and ability to focus. And I know that people might listen to the way I'm talking right now and think I got some problems, and it's easy for them to judge at the moment. But if they were to see me uh, after I had been diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, it's night and day. I mean, even 2 years ago, You know, I mean, even my grandma, I called my grandma on the phone and she's like, she says, I can hear it in your voice. She says, you're the Chris that I used to know when you was a little boy. And I told her it's because this hemp, Grandma. And she says, I'm taking hemp too. And so is your aunt. And we're also eating those mushrooms. My grandma who led me to Jesus is taking hemp oil and mushrooms. Yeah, you talk about
Wow.
you talk about you talk about a different world, man, than when we was growing up. Things are different now. Things are different. So I'm wanting to get interested in doing psychedelic treatments, psilocybin treatments. I told my primary care physician about it, but since it's still illegal here in Massachusetts, there's no clinical permission for that. So I even told my therapist, I said, I'd like to try some. I said, would you help oversee me doing some trips on some magic mushrooms?
This
And my
saline
therapist
or
was
the
like, no.
solution is cold.
Huh? It'll be cold. It'll be cold.
I mean, it's cold going in too, though, ain't it?
Yeah, it'll be cold.
This thing.
It's cold. The stuff's
I'm feeling it inside. Okay.
Yeah, you're all right. It's cold. What's it, saline? What, she got you hooked up with a saline solution?
I think it is. I started noticing that I'm not warming up, and it felt like it was getting my hand was getting wet. I go to wipe it, and it's dry, and I'm like, something ain't right over here. And then I start feeling the hose, and the hose is the feeling I'm feeling, but it's inside.
That's because the bag's hanging up in the air. It's at room temperature, and your body's like 90.
She just got it out of the fridge.
Got it out the fridge too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm getting cold chills right now.
Are you sure about that?
Swear. Just a little bit ago, she got it out of the fridge.
Oh my God.
Why it's colder than usual.
Did you ever donate plasma?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they pump in the saline solution.
Yeah.
That's cold. So it's colder than that.
Dude, I'm thinking when I'm giving them my plasma and shit, I'm thinking they're just taking stuff out of me to go take whatever they need. We're done, right? No, dude, they hook the whole process up, goes through out of your body, back in your body.
They're putting it back in too. They're putting back in the stuff they're putting back in your blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, and your platelets. And they take in all your protein and your plasma, all your goodies.
I don't know why they wouldn't offer you a little bit more money since you could afford it, since it's already out, to go ahead and make some damn fertilizer with it. That'd be the best fertilizer ever.
Fertilizer with your blood. I ain't never heard of such a thing, Leonard. But
blood's good for the ground, dude. Water and blood.
We need to get you away from that hospital, man, because they might end up locking you up for some of the stuff that you're talking about.
Ain't you never seen a tree grow through a dead carcass laying out in the middle of nowhere? Dude, it'd be the healthiest looking tree around.
I ain't saying that. This is an after party crash. It's 10:29.
That's a heck of a birthday, dude.
Heck of a birthday weekend, man.
They're gonna love it. They're building that memory, boy.
I got somebody here said who wants to get fucked up and do some fucked up shit. Jason Mackley. Hey, you know who Jason Mackley is, right?
Mackley. I know of that dude.
I'm pretty sure he went to Benton.
Yeah. He's one of Preston's friends, remember?
Let me show you his page.
He was down there at Preston's house that one time. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's like who wants to do some fucked up shit.
He's kind of strange.
I'm gonna send him a link to that Zoom and be like, hey man. I'm about to have to put that girl to sleep. Mom wanted to give him all that candy, and I told her, you can lead a horse to water. I tried telling my wife that saying, and For some reason, she thinks I'm calling her a horse. I ain't calling you a horse. I said it's a saying, and it's not that you're a horse. It's that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I'm not calling you a horse. I'm saying I'm giving you advice, and you're not
Right.
taking it. Anyway, but she's like, you called me a horse. Whatever, whatever, man. I didn't call you no horse. Yeah, I found out in marriage that there's things that you can get away with, things that you can't. Come join Leonard Richardson and I in a live.
Dude, if we were to take a little bit of time and we pulled the right strings, I got a plan. Like if we were to ever do this, that if we ever got hold people, I have literally met almost everybody, like thousands of people throughout the Midwest here, selling pictures, shook hands, helped them out, went to their house, in their house, out of their house. I mean, 120 people at a time, dude. Sometimes 240 people at a time.
Here we are right now, Jason Mackley. I'm recording this little clip here. You come on in here live with Leonard and I. He's in the hospital. He might have that. They might say he has that COVID. Check it out, man. Ain't technology crazy. I can sit here and Facebook with people on my phone while we're doing a Facebook Live. That's just crazy. A whole lot different than what it was when the internet first came out. But anyway, I think a lot of people are probably watching less or responding less to my Facebook stuff. Or maybe Facebook's got it blocked or whatever, but I think I'm figuring out this social media thing. And,
it's kind of a down and out time too, though, man. I mean, I'm not very up spirited. Otherwise, we'd be on this talking about all kinds of stuff, man. Then when we get together, we end up inviting a lot of people, and when they start seeing it, and then they start talking about it, dude, it's gonna go off like wildfire. You can't expect it to just pop out of nowhere right now because, well, shoot, I mean.
Nobody knows about it, which is why I do the live television show. I do the live Cannabis Library TV. Our first episode airs tomorrow at noon. Yeah.
Another thing cool to find is maybe we can get us like a little wireless thing that will project, like a little projector for the back of your car or something when it's parked outside in the parking lot, and nowhere I can get in. You know what I mean?
You got any more food, Kelly? Just bring me. Puedes traerme más salsa, amor? Can you bring me más salsa? Sofrito. Chips and salsa. Well, listen, man. I watched Joe Rogan's podcast, and I watch a lot of his stuff. And I watch some of his stuff now compared that to when his first videos were coming out. His first videos look like what we're doing right now, man. Of course, he was Joe Rogan when he started. He had like 200 people watching his stuff, but he was already famous, But he started 10 years ago.
Karate or something?
Yeah, martial arts.
The Karate fan club.
Yeah, he's into the martial arts. Not too much there. Pokemon.
Dude, I thought that was wild. I almost had him pegged for the opposite guy when I watched that karate deal.
MMA.
I was like, what the?
Yeah, he's into the MMA. He was doing that stuff back when MMA got started. And he ended up becoming, now what he does, they actually have him come on and he does the time for the plug.
Is that liquid in that?
Tostitos, hint of lime.
Oh. It was awful quiet for you to be pouring something, it looked like.
No, I was just putting them in a bowl, man.
Huh.
And I got some paste pecani. But Joe Rogan, he was already famous before he's from Massachusetts. He's actually born. He was actually not too far from where I'm at, and he started in comedy clubs here in the Boston area in the late '80s, if I remember right. And so 10 years ago is when he started his podcast. So he was already an actor, television star. He did he hosted the Fear Factor. Remember the Fear Factor show where
I liked it.
People would do all that crazy stuff, and then they had to outlast all the other people. They would be doing stupid, crazy stuff, He was the host of that show. And he's like 52 now. I think he's like 52 years old. I'm 36. And when's your birthday?
December 11th.
12/11 of 84 or 83?
83. 83.
Yeah, so you're like 5 months. 5 months older than me. So imagine where we could be in 15 years from now.
On top of being on top of what we thought we'd be on top of?
Hey man, I'm all about opening up these office in my wife's hometown, starting an orphanage there. I'm all about doing the same thing in Dominica, or at least helping build up orphanages that are already there. And then the doctor, once I just got done doing some more messages with them, and they want to have a clinic. They're about to have a clinic where they're going to be able to heal people, with cannabis. What is it? My wife's got a meat mix.
Okay.
Oh, what do we got here? Got some chicken. Got some more chicken. Got some beef. A little bit more beef. Oh, chicharrones. This is a pork rinds.
What is it?
Pork grinds. Pork rinds.
Homemade?
Yeah. There's some more of them. Those are good. That's good, baby. I should be good with that. Thanks. My wife loves me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, happy days.
Oh, happy days.
I'm gonna let it down.
This little light of mine.
I'm gonna make it rhyme. Can't you see? Can't you see?
I'm gonna kill some time. This is probably a lot of fun for you, isn't it?
What?
Does this make you feel good that we're talking on live Facebook?
Yeah.
With a Zoom platform?
my old friend. He's got his life together, and happiness, and he's sharing it with me. And believe it or not, it keeps me alive in a sense.
Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Brings tears to my soul.
Mm, I like me some taters.
Mhm. I know, dude. I'm rugged, boy. Oh my goodness.
Mr.
I've got to get this stuff off soon. I don't know. I was thinking I was getting off close to Christmas. Might as well just blend in.
I
Wait
reckon
for
I
the
like
frost
me
to
some
change color.
taters. I reckon I like me some taters.
And then mustard on top. Mhm.
I reckon so. Yeah, well, it brings tears to my soul too, dude. I miss you, dude. Yeah, I miss you, man. I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, I'd have to get a lot of my stuff transferred over there.
Huh?
You know,
Huh?
I'd have to get on top. I'm getting on top of this stuff. I have to get some things transferred over there. People keep messing with me. You know how I'm a wrongfully convicted felon. Well, one of these attorneys almost got 1,500 bucks out of me, which I have the money to give them. You know what I mean? By the time I get them getting collected and all that stuff. But this attorney was supposed to be getting it, and he's talking about just expunging my record. And the way they go about it, I'm like, no, dude, my point is that I'm not guilty of this. It needs to be investigated. There's been a crime committed against me, therefore allowing the real criminal to go out there and do God knows what else, growing as a criminal, spreading their ways as a criminal, and
minute.
so on and so forth.
So you were convicted of a felony that you didn't do in Buchanan County, Missouri?
That's right.
Oh,
That's
wow,
right.
I'm so surprised. I've never heard such a thing. Buchanan County? No.
Especially Buchanan County. Dude, you would laugh. You would laugh at these guys so bad, dude, because I've had so many cases dropped because I told them the same thing over and over again. I am not guilty. Prove it. Where's the evidence? They show me evidence that is fabricated, dude, and then they drop it. They drop it all. I'm like, you got fabricated evidence. You just sit here and show me in front of my face. Got me spending time and money in jail, and you're wasting more time and money on my time when I deserve to be out there being free, enjoying my rights and my freedoms, and being able to pay my bills. And you're taking all those chances away from me, all these hours I'm in here, and nobody's going to pay me anything. You know what to do? Just let me go.
Welcome to Buchanan County, Missouri.
Now, I guarantee you, Chris, you know me. If I kidnap one of them some bitches,
don't say that shit.
I don't let them go. I don't let them go until I feel like otherwise. Come on, now tell me the end of the story.
Why do you think? Let's calm down here for a second. Take a step back because I'm about to open up a can of worms, right? Why do you think that guy in 1998 or 1999 started shooting up those cops?
Yep.
22nd Frederick.
Yep.
You know who that guy was? His nickname was Speedy. And I knew of the guy. My aunt and uncle used to party with him. And the word on the street is that there was a certain number of St. Joe Police Department officers that took that guy out in the middle of nowhere, beat the ever living shit out of him, and left him there to die.
Uh-huh.
And he came back, ammoed up, went on a fucking shooting rampage, and he killed Brad Arn. He killed Brad Arn in like 1998 or 1999. And they shot him right next to that church.
Uh-huh.
It has a huge steeple That was actually a church where that was the first church. That was the first building that I got up on a roof job, and I was helping on the cleanup crew to start, and I was loading up the pickup trucks with cedar shake shingles, and that was about a year after that guy had bled. And then, of course, another one of my friends from high school or from elementary school, his girlfriend at the time went to that church, and she was taking him to church there, and he went there to church like the 10 days after that guy was killed there. And he told me, he said it smelled like deer. It smelled like when you slaughter a deer. He said the blood of that man, Speedy, you could still smell the blood. Smell like deer blood. It's not just like deer blood, you know.
I'm telling you right now, dude. I mean, you know, all due respect on the playing field, you know what I mean. But when it come down to it, I've been to people's houses where I walked in there and be hanging out, you know, thinking we're just gonna hang out, play some video games, you know, eat some food, and you know, just hang around the house, be lazy, maybe ride some bikes later. And next thing you know, dude, this dude's dad has a whole bunch of youngsters come in. Dude, by the time all these youngsters come in there, guess what they're all wearing? And guess what confirmed later on when I saw them in uniform? They were wearing academy shirts, brother. And every last one of them was breaking the law.
That's chicharron right there, man. That's pig
Eat their
skin
own.
with the meat.
Yeah.
Fried. Oh my God, it's like bacon. It's great.
I think that might be part of breakfast tomorrow. Some bacon.
Chicharron. There's a song in Guatemala. It's called. You go ahead and talk. I'm gonna chew this up, and then I'm gonna tell you about that song.
Actually, dude, I think I feel me a bowel movement finally. So I gotta get a hold of somebody because I don't have a urinal for that one. Yeah, that something big's coming from that one, boy. I ain't good today. And I have to tell them before I go so I don't fall over.
All right.
Just so you know. I'll leave you out here with whoever it is that comes.
All right. I'll hold that story on the song in Guatemala until after it
Right.
can come out.
You're in Guatemala, and we were talking about the chicharron.
Yeah, it's called Chicharron con Pelos.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Mayan. I'll tell you about it. Go on in there and use your restroom.
Well, they want me to wait on them. Oh. 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 No. I gotta go. I ain't waiting on them, dude. I'm headed to the bathroom. Oh. Oh.
What's up, Valerie? Valerie Banks is watching me. Watching you. Watching with you. You want to join in? I can share the link. If you got Zoom, bring in here. Paste. There's the Zoom link. If you want to come in with us here, we talking about stuff. If you got Zoom, you know, you just click on that link and it'll pop up here on my screen, says you want to join, and you can join in on the chat. I'm gonna send you the link in Messenger, Valerie. I don't know if you got Zoom. Let's see here.
Yes, sir.
Valerie. Where you at, man?
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. You doing okay? Are you doing okay?
Show you.
Your ID still holding out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a little sore, but yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Trying to find you here, Valerie. There you are, Valerie. ED Access Rep at Mosaic Life Care. I'll send you a link on Zoom there. Join our Cloud HD video meeting if you want to. If you ain't got Zoom, all you gotta do is just download it. It's an easy app to get into. You can join us here on Facebook Live through my Zoom program. Come on in, Valerie. Come on in and say hi. You can do it. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you in here. This is my buddy Leonard from the South End. He's not doing so good, but he's pulling out of it. Come on in if you want. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Are you doing okay? Okay. You're fine. You're fine. That's fine. I don't see any. No, go ahead and open that one up. I don't see any other ones in here.
Shows you're still watching, Valerie. This is my buddy Leonard's been in the hospital for a couple days, and he got sick on the 13th. and he held out for as long as he could until he had to go to the hospital. And they're running tests on him still, but sounds to me like he's got COVID.
Do I need to clean down? Do I need to get you to clean down? Clean down? Do you need to clean down? Can you get it?
I'm just sitting here eating chicken. He's in there surviving in the hospital. We was talking about, we was reminiscing on times past. We've been talking about, hey baby, amores, ¿me pueden traer un toallita húmeda, por favor?
Hey. That's okay. Go ahead and come on in here.
You sure?
Yep.
Gracias, amor.
Go ahead and get rid of all. You want to take it out. Okay. Your things on your bed for your nose.
Shows you're still in here, Valerie. I don't know if you're still here or not. It says Valerie Banks is watching with you.
Oh.
Good?
Yes.
You get in there? Just sit and relax for a second. You weren't at the gym, huh? No.
No, this is kind of fresh. That's just because of sickness.
There you go. 85. You're coming up.
Good.
91.
Oh, no, that was a good way.
You're not joining that. It's
All right.
bedtime.
Okay. I'll plug your IV for 1 minute.
You're old.
I'll be back in a little bit taking this other antibiotic. Do you need anything else?
I just felt
No, you're
my movement out of nowhere, and
No, you just go. You just go. You don't wait on me. Okay? All right. Okay. We'll be back around to check on you, okay?
thanks again.
You're welcome. Let me see if this finger's not read. It's not wanting to read
You
it.
can just watch if you want to. Maybe you can join in tomorrow. We can do this again tomorrow night, maybe. Leonard's probably gonna be in there for another day at least. Oh, we could do another
You got plenty to
Zoom
do.
any other time. Probably
I
we could
think so
schedule
here.
that.
I just filled this
Oh,
up. That
Catch up.
set up to be good. Maybe later
Bring you another 7-Up of
water.
water. Okay. All right, I can do that. Okay, I'll be back to check on you in a little bit.
Thank you.
It's past your bedtime, Valerie Banks. You need to go to bed. We got school in the morning.
Okay. Woo.
I met you.
Well, it was a job, man.
Huh?
That was a job. Excuse me.
We got one person watching,
Yeah.
and she's one of the people that I met back in '94, 4th grade. I was at John Glenn Elementary School, and she lived right next to Jason Harmon. And Jason Harmon and Jason Harmon, another couple friends, and I would hang out regularly. And that's where I think I first met Valerie. And, that's 26 years ago.
Hot darn. Chel's catching up with you, huh?
Hey man,
Since she
tough
found
loss.
you. Huh?
She's just watching on the Facebook Live. I think she might have hopped off now. I don't know if she's still on here. But if you are,
What was that deal with Ariel? That was a pretty big deal, bro.
Ariel.
Yeah, you remember Ariel over at church? Over there off of 22nd? A couple
You
blocks
mean-
back.
Wait,
Ariel?
how did you remember that? We're talking about the same Ariel
Yeah.
right next door to.
I was there with you
Where with me? Where?
when you drove the hatchback. When we went over there to talk to her, you said the whole place was lost, and she's the only one you cared about. And I went in there, and it was a pretty emotional situation. We just never did touch back and talk about it anymore, because it was a pretty emotional deal that night. We never touched back that part, and we ended up stopping in that parking lot over there on, I think it was Jewel Street on 22nd for
Yeah, we're
or
talking
heading
about
somewhere else.
We're talking about the same Ariel. One of the many girls. One of the many girlfriends. I had lots of them. Yep. Yep, Ariel. I remember.
You know, Callie did me pretty dirty, dude. Callie Boone, remember her? Word Life Church.
Hey, let's not. I don't want to turn this into a. I don't want my videos to be.
Oh, specifics?
Yeah, like.
All right, I'll try to remember if there was
Yeah,
nicknames.
it's dropping names and
Yeah.
because the person's not here to defend themselves. It's a touchy subject. I know that at the beginning of the call I mentioned Steve.
Oh, her and I have already talked about it anyway. You know what I mean? Her story is she's forever, and I'm like, yeah, right, but I ain't gonna argue about it. It's nothing. I was talking to you, like I got carried away just talking to you, not thinking of the, video thing or what.
It's all good.
I was just gonna tell you what I found out about it.
What is she on?
She ended up getting back into her old crowd.
Yeah, there's lots of people, man, that got into a very an old crowd and very destructive behaviors. Lots of people who knew me. Allie Joe's watching. Allie Joe, do you have Zoom, Allie Joe? Because if you've got Zoom, Allie Joe, I can send you the link and bring you in here with Leonard Richardson. Now, wouldn't that be something?
Irene.
Allie Joe Dotson.
Don't forget, Irene.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. Barrett Ravello. I'm gonna put the link up here. Anybody who wants to join, I'm gonna put the link in here. And here's the link. It's in the comments. And I got another post on my page. You can go to my main page and you can look at the Zoom link. Anybody that's got Zoom, you can click on that link and it will show you're wanting to come into this live or this recording on Zoom. And then I'll add you into the call and you will be part of the broadcast. I don't think Allie Joe is watching. You still watching, Allie Joe? I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link and a text message. You come on in, we can talk some more. I sent you the download on your text. My kids right now, they broke open a piñata today. They got to break open a piñata.
It sounded like you said that your kids broke up with their piñata today.
Oh, this is Starbursts. Man, these kids, I'm telling you, man, whenever I was a kid, we ate so much candy. I'm kind of just like, this is the one night where I can go for it. Allie Joe, I just sent you the link in your text message, and so if you got Zoom, you want to join in, say hi. Anybody else that wants to add, come on in anytime. You just let me know if you got Zoom. We can add you in here.
Allie Joe.
Allie Joe Dotson, Jay Dotson's younger sister.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ain't a small world.
Wow. You want to talk about, I ain't even going to get into that. Now you really got me. Yeah.
We're talking about Brown Street, man.
Yeah, I know. You know, back when they took me out of high school for something else I didn't do, it's because
I didn't want this thing.
I'll hold the name back, but certain people I know that we all went to school with said that he got them from me. Well, that's only half the truth. They broke in the locker and stole some damn painkillers from me. They got spread amongst a whole bunch of people. By the time I find out about it, my friend's in the hospital, and I'm wondering why everybody's trying to keep me from going to the hospital. I'm like, well, screw you, dude. I'm at the hospital already. I'm going to see how my friend is. And I make it almost halfway through the doors. Everybody starts shoving me out the door. Well, long story short, I find out that everybody and their brother, including Jay Dotson, ended up with some. And then, a little while later, he died from that.
Well,
Come find out the damn pills were out there.
No, listen, let me tell you. God bless his soul. Jay Dotson is he's a loved one of mine. He's a good friend of mine. And
me too. But
what happened? But let me tell you the story so that I'm going to tell you the story so that with respect to him and his family. But basically, Jay was born with I think there was something that was wrong, something that wasn't the way it was supposed to be with his legs, and the doctor said that they could try to fix him and give him a chance, and so from what I understand, his family said, well, we'd rather give him a chance, but they predicted that he would have cancer, but in his teenage years, and he got cancer, and he tried to fight it off, but he didn't make it to be an adult. He was a teenager. Yeah.
I know. We stayed the night together. We all hung out. Me, Bryce, him.
Jay was awesome to hang out with. Jay was cool as shit. I loved hanging out with Jay.
Yeah.
And he really knew
how to
sell some dope too. So he really knew how to sell bud. He was good at selling bud. Huh. Well, we used to sell bud together before he got big into it. We used to sell some back in, and we smoked. Oh God, I couldn't even tell you how many times I got high with Jay.
Huh.
Did you ever get high with Jay?
Nope.
You never get high with him?
Dude, believe it or not, everybody believed more than was true with me. I was pretty goody two shoe for a while.
You didn't touch the devil's lettuce?
Uh-uh.
You're probably better off, maybe. Or maybe you're not. I don't know.
I mean,
At least you're alive still.
I've been in more forceful situations than it should have been. You know what I mean? I've been forced into things. Like I've been drugged and not even known it.
That
More
sucks.
than it.
That sucks.
Yeah. So that kind of helps keep my curiosity down.
Well, I was telling you about, we was talking about people fell back into their old ways, old play. You want to have new playgrounds and new playmates is what they taught us in rehab. And, there was, I left St. Joe and I tried to move back once and I just couldn't handle it there. I tried to live in St. Joe, in 2018, moved my wife and kids there, was staying in my grandma's basement. I couldn't handle it. I needed to get out of there. And I just didn't like the idea that I was going to die there. I just wanted to be, I wanted to be gone with the wind. And so I took off again to Honduras and then came back here before I went down to Honduras. We flew out of here and flew back down and but I'm back in Massachusetts. But before the last time I lived in St. Joe before that, it was what year? That would have been 2002. The winter 2002. I was at the airport working. So it was the January or February of 03. I moved to Kansas City. And then December of 08, I was in St. Joe at Allie Joe Dotson's garage, her dad's garage, Al. And I built a trailer for my car, for my gold mining equipment. I built the trailer myself. I'd never welded before a day in my life. And Al let me build my small trailer that I pulled down through Mexico with a Honda hatchback. Probably that same Honda hatchback that I guess I took you over to Matt Courtney's, which is where Jenna is the next door neighbor. That's where she was. That's where her parents live. I think they might still live there. I don't know. But
Over off 22nd.
Yeah, I think it's Jules.
One of them little cottage areas.
Yeah, other than houses there, and so. But yeah, man, the amount of people who I've seen in Buchanan County through the news and through social media that have fell into self-destructive habits and or been to prison. Quite a few people. Meth. Lots of meth in Buchanan County. And a lot of social injustice. Lots of legal injustice.
Yep. What pisses me off is I keep catching these damn police officers being involved with the stuff and acting like it's just a normal, regular game so that everybody knows all this info. But when it comes down to it, you're going to stop it if you got a plan in action to keep it continuously going on so that you can gain information.
My aunt, they locked my aunt up. They locked my aunt up. And they do this to a lot of people. They will lock you up and then they will start creating evidence out of thin air, just like with what happened to you. And they'll create it out of thin air and
they don't create it. What they do is they take what they don't have and they try to get you to slip up and maybe have a piece of evidence on that. You see, and that's where
confess to something you never even did just to get yourself out of the jail. Right. People will confess to stuff they never even did just because they're like, hey, at least it's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Dude, that's like 75% of the problem right there. A lot of people
That's a
just want out of
big,
jail.
it's a
They
big,
just want out of jail, dude, and they'll tell them anything.
I'll say
I've
it's a,
been in that situation before. Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, you want me to sign this paper and I can get out? Yeah. Okay, I signed this paper. Next thing you know, they're saying that it means you're partially admitting to being involved with it somehow. I'm like, that ain't what I told you. I signed it.
yeah, welcome to Buchanan County.
Yeah.
Welcome to Buchanan
Or
County.
no bullshit. No evidence whatsoever leads up to the conviction that I end up with. My convictions, dude, no bullshit. These are facts. No facts, no evidence
Same
whatsoever
thing happened with my aunt. There's no
prove.
fucking evidence from my aunt. My aunt's in prison. She was convicted guilty for murder, and there was no fucking evidence. How the fuck does that happen? Say, Joseph.
I tried telling you back then, dude. I tried telling you back then. Remember how bad it was? I was like, dude, you don't understand. I didn't even do this stuff. And you were like, oh my God. And then you were talking to people on the phone, and you kept saying, what was irritating because I didn't understand what you meant is you were like, oh, the Holy Spirit's got a hold of you. I'm like, ain't no motherfucker, nobody got a hold of me. What the hell you mean? What are you saying to these people, And he's like, dude, it's just saying. I'll explain it later. Holy Ghost has got a hold of you. And he gets on back on the phone. He's like, Holy Ghost got a hold of this dude for real. Like, oh my God, you going nuts. I'm just like worked up. I'm just sitting here like, forget it. I'll just wait until it gets off the phone, They got me all worked up.
And sometimes I got to look back on my life and realize there's times that I've been wrong. But yet I thought I was so right. Yeah.
You were pretty right back then, though. Believe it or not.
I've been right lots of times, but that's only because I'm willing to be wrong too. And sometimes I say stuff and it's wrong, but I tend to keep a habit of recognizing when I'm wrong. And somehow I've managed to stay afloat and stay alive. I mean, we've got lots of friends who aren't alive that we knew when we grew up, and we're still here. We're still here. Yeah. It's 10:20 at where you are, and it's 11:20 here. And as you can see,
so it's 10:18 on Maryville Wall right now.
As you can see behind me, you got hey Kelly. Hold on a second. So so we're about to the point where Mom's got just about everything cleaned up from tonight's party.
Mm-hmm.
And when we end, I'm gonna download this Facebook, and I think I'm gonna keep these ones I might keep these on my personal page.
Ouch.
Oh.
I'll be right here. See, how would I do that?
Oh no. That's funny. What's your oxygen level at, man?
97. It looks like.
Badass.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude. Fucking A. Yesterday you used an 84. That's a borderline problem.
Yeah.
You're about to come out of this, man. You'll probably be in that hospital. You're going to probably be in that hospital for a couple more days, man.
It sucks. Rub it in.
But, hey, listen. I've been to some places in this world Oh, I was going to tell you about the chicharrón con pelo,
Yeah.
Guatemala. Listen, dude, I've been to some places in this world where you you don't have hospitals.
Huh?
You don't have hospitals in some of the places where I've been, dude.
Right.
Chicharrón con pelo means pork rind with hair. With hair. Still got the hair on it. Pork rind with hair. And so there was this artist in Guatemala, and he's singing this song. He says, "Give me some of those pork rinds with hair." And it's one of them songs. What? Vamos a dormir. Pink? Well, hell, I got a pony. I got a pink pony. Cepillo pink? Mami tiene cepillo? ¿A dónde está? Ay, no te creo. She comes up asking for her pink toothbrush, and I said, "Where's it at?" And she points down here in between the couch cushions. And I said, "I don't believe you." I don't believe you. She says it's in there. I don't believe it. Lavamano? It's all right. I can get it out of there. She dropped her toothbrush down the sink. Hey, baby, yeah, vamos a dormir.
Oh, she was acting the bathroom out in front of you. She was telling you the whole story right there.
Well, yeah, maybe, or she was just. Okay, what you got there? All right, good. Vaya, dígale que mami le pongo un poquito de medicina ahí. La medicina ahí. Mm-hmm. Ya vamos a dormir, huh? Ya vamos a dormir. We gonna go to sleep?
Jason's your cousin?
Jason.
Mackley? Or you just know him?
No, he ain't my cousin. Not that I know of. I got some cousins or something like that. Oh, I gotta get off here, man. So,
All right.
You sleep well. I know you're doing better. Your oxygen's up and you're moving around, and you're on the downhill now, man. You survived it.
Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana. Talk to you later.